welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome to the most dazzling and captivating jewelry class in town. I'm just kidding, of course. But one thing I do know is that I have the best audience in town, and that's for sure. And one of the things that I really appreciate about you is that you helped me reach my milestone of 20,000 subscribers. I'm really, really grateful for that. Now, if you watched my last tutorial, I mentioned that I was going to do a giveaway, and that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm so excited about that. I'm going to be drawing 3 names from the list of the comments that were left under that tutorial, and I'm going to give away 3 sets of magic rods, 1 for each winner, and they're going to be the 12-inch rods. So if you left some comments under that video, you have a good chance of winning today. Now, one of the conditions for winning is that you have to be a subscriber, so hopefully everybody who left comments is a subscriber. So if you're not a subscriber, unfortunately, you won't be able to win today. But there'll be other giveaways in the future, I promise you. So now's a good time for you to subscribe if you haven't done so already. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and draw the 3 names. I'm so excited, I can hardly wait. Okay, here we are at the giveaway screen. I'm going to be using an online tool called the Random Comment Picker from commentpicker.com. So anyway, good luck to everybody. Here we go. And the winner is Leanne P. Congratulations, Leanne. I'm so happy you won. Leanne says, thanks for demonstrating how to tie the shells so they line up so even. Great designs too. Looking forward to more. Well, thank you so much, Leanne. It's very kind of you. I'm so happy you won. All right, let's go ahead and pick the second winner. Everybody stand by and good luck. And the winner is Jeannie Baker. Congratulations, Jeannie. I'm so happy you won. And Jeannie says, I'm a newbie at this. You make it look so easy. Thanks for all the information you give me. I always walk away with something to use from your forum. Well, that's a very nice comment, Jeannie. Thank you so much. You're so kind. I really do appreciate it. Okay, let's go ahead and pick the third winner. Good luck to everybody, and here we go. And the winner is Jacqueline Desjardins. I think that's how you pronounce it. Congratulations, Jacqueline. I'm so happy you entered this giveaway and you won. And Jacqueline says, beautiful beachy piece, loved by a Florida gal. And she left me a bunch of emojis. That's very sweet of you, Jacqueline. Thank you so much. I'm so happy for you. And once again, congratulations to the 3 winners. And thank you to everyone who left comments. I really do appreciate it. I read every single one of them. It's the highlight of my day. Wasn't that fun? I love doing giveaways. I really do. Congratulations again to the 3 winners. Don't forget to email me. You'll see my email down below in the description section of this video. I'm going to need your address so I can ship you your gift. And even though I'm happy, I'm also sad because I wish I could give everybody a gift. But like I said, there'll be other opportunities in the future, so look out for those. But anyway, guys, today we're going to make that gorgeous jewelry set, the necklace, bracelet, and earrings that you saw in the introduction. And I'm going to be using the beads that came in the GGC Treasure bag. It was the May release. And if you're not familiar with that bag, I'll leave a link down below to the website so you can go check it out. I'm also going to leave a list of all the materials down in the description section of this video, along with the tools that I'm going to be using today. And I'll leave some timestamps as well in case you want to skip forward to any portion of the video. And as always, I will model the pieces at the end of this video, so please stick around for that. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And here's the GGC Treasure bag. This bag was released in May. The name of it is Enchanted Jewels. And obviously, I already did an unbagging video, so I'm not going to do that in this video. And if you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below in the description section. But anyway, the beads were absolutely gorgeous. There were lots of greens and purples and peaches, and there were plenty of sparkly crystals and antique copper tone findings. I'm going to go ahead and pull out the items that we're going to be using, and I'll be right back. Here are the items we're going to be using. Let me just go over them with you. We have these 4 peach-colored faceted crystals, and they're actually listed as rice beads. They measure 19 by 8 millimeters. We also have 2 faceted bicone crystals, and these measure 13 by 10 millimeters, and the color is lavender. We have these 3 leaf beads. I'm going to use one of them for the pendant, and the other 2 for some earrings. They're listed as glitter gold powder glass leaf beads, and they measure 15 by 15 millimeters. We have these beautiful sparkly triangle beads. They're in a peach color, and they measure 4 by 6 millimeters. We have some glass pearls, and these measure 8 millimeters, and the color is royal purple. And here we have some tiny rondelle beads. They measure 4 by 3.5 millimeters, and the color is lavender paint. I also have some bead caps, and these are in an antique copper color, as you can see. And I believe these measure 6 millimeters. I have some cable chain as well, and the links measure 5 by 3 millimeters. And I have 2 sets of toggle clasps. Here are 2 more items. These are also from the bag. We have a beautiful heart pendant. It measures 18 by 18 by 5 millimeters. And here we have a chandelier link. I'm going to use it for the pendant, and it measures 23.5 by 23.5 millimeters. And I am going to be using some other items from my own stash, so let me go get them and I'll be right back. And here I have some seed beads. They're size 8/0 and they're in an antique copper color, as you can see. I have some artistic wire. It's 20 gauge and the color is antique brass, but it has a bit of a coppery tone, and I thought it would work really well with the metal components that we're going to be using. Some of the copper colored craft wire that's out there is a little bit too red, so I thought I would use this color instead. And here I have an assortment of jump rings. They're in an antique copper color, as you can see, and we're going to be using several sizes from this bag. Let me just show you. As you can see, there are all kinds of sizes. I think the small ones are about 3.5 millimeters, and they range in size all the way up to 10 millimeters, I believe. And I think that's all for now. I will be pulling out some earwire hooks for the earrings, but they're probably going to be stainless steel, but I'll pull those out later on when we get ready to make the earrings. So now that we've gone over the materials, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by assembling the pendant, and these are the items we're going to be using. I have the chandelier component, the heart pendant, the leaf bead or leaf charm. I have a jump ring and it measures 6.5 millimeters. I have one size 8/0 seed bead. I have one of the 8 millimeter glass pearls and 2 bead caps, and I have a piece of 20 gauge wire. So let me show you how we're going to do this. I'm going to start by opening up this jump ring. And I'm going to slide the leaf bead onto the jump ring. Just like that. And now I'm going to pick up this size 8/0 seed bead and slide it onto the jump ring as well. And that just adds a little decorative touch. That's all that does. And now I'm going to connect it to this component. And that's going to be a little bit tricky. But I'm going to connect it to one of the loops that you see there. This middle one right there. Let's see if I can do it without dropping everything. And now I'm going to close up the jump ring real carefully. It's a little tricky because there's not a lot of space here. That looks pretty good. So that's what we have so far. And now we're going to assemble this beaded component. I'm going to kink my wire at about 1/2 inch down, something like that. And now using my round nose pliers, I'm going to grab that little short end so that it's flush, and I'm going to form a loop, a simple loop. You want to make sure that it's nice and closed, and you want to make sure that it's straight as well, just like that. And I'm going to slide on one of these bead caps and the glass pearl. And now the other bead cap. Just like that. I'm going to grab the wire right where the bead cap is. Line up the bottom loop. Kink it. Snip off the excess. Grab the wire with my round nose pliers. Make sure it's flush. And loop it. Very simple. And once again, you want to make sure your loop is nice and straight. And you want to make sure it's closed. Just like that. And now I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to slide on the heart pendant. And close up the loop. Isn't that adorable? And now I'm going to open up this loop and hook it onto the bottom loop of this chandelier component and close it up. And I think this pendant is super cute. I was initially going to hang something from these loops here, but then I changed my mind because I wanted to do something different. And so now they just serve as a decorative accent, and I think it frames that leaf bead really nicely. So now we're going to move on to the strands. Here are the items for the strands. As you can see, I have my crystals. I also have some glass pearls. I have my size 8/0 seed beads and some bead caps. And I have some pieces of 20 gauge wire. These are a little bit longer to accommodate these beads, and these are shorter for the other beads. And we're simply going to build some beaded components. We're going to build 3 types. So let me show you. Once again, I'm going to kink my wire at about 1/2 inch down, something like that. I'm going to grab the end and form a loop. And now I'm going to thread on one of these crystals, just like that. I'm going to grab this end, line up the bottom loop, kink it, snip off the excess, grab the end, and form a loop here. Just like that. Very simple. One thing you do want to do is line up your loops. Make sure they're facing the same direction. So now let me show you the next one. Same thing, I'm going to grab the end and kink it, form a loop, make sure it's straight, and now I'm going to grab one of these crystals. Actually, what I need to do is load one of these seed beads first, and then the crystal, and another seed bead, just like that. Grab the wire, line up the bottom loop, kink it, cut off the excess, and form a loop. Straighten out my loop, make sure it's closed, and now I'm going to line up both of my loops so they're facing the same way, just like that. So now let me show you the third type. Same thing, I'm going to kink my wire, form a loop, slide on one of these bead caps, and then a pearl, and another bead cap. Grab the wire, line up the bottom loop. You do want to make sure that your pliers are right up against the bead cap, because you don't want that bead cap to be spinning around because it's too loose. And now I'm going to cut off the excess and form a loop. Just like that. So these are the 3 beaded components that are going to form the strands. Each strand is going to have 2 of these long ones, 1 of these lavender ones, and 2 of the pearl ones. So let me go ahead and build 2 more components for this one strand. As you can see, I built 5 beaded components, and now we just need to connect them, and that's very easy. I'm simply going to open up this loop, connect this next one, close it up, and now I'm going to open up this loop, connect the next one, close it up, and that's all there is to it. Very simple. So now to save time, I'm going to build a second one just like this one off camera, and I'll be right back. Here are my 2 strands, and each one measures about 5 inches. Now yours may be different depending on how big your loops are, so you're going to have to figure it out. So now we're going to connect these 2 strands to the pendant. Here's my pendant. And this is really easy. I'm going to open up this loop, connect it to this loop, and close it. So there's 1 strand connected. And now I'm going to open up this loop and connect it to the component or the pendant and close it up. Is that adorable or what? I think it's very pretty and very romantic as well. So now we just need to finish it off with some chain at the top, and I'm going to be using the chain that came in the bag. But before I cut 2 pieces, I'm going to take this necklace to my mirror and hold it up to my chest to see how much chain I need. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Well, I'm back and I've decided to cut myself 2 3.5-inch pieces of chain. 3.5 plus 5 is 8.5. Times 2 is 17. But by the time I add the jump rings and the clasp, the necklace will be 18 inches long. Obviously, you can make yours as long as you want to. You could even add some more beaded components if you wanted to lengthen yours. So now we just need to connect the chain and the clasp, and that's very easy to do. I'm simply going to open up this loop, slide the length of the chain into the loop like this, and close it. And now let me open up this jump ring, and these jump rings measure about 4 millimeters. They're pretty small. And now let me slide the last link into the jump ring like this and close it. I usually like to connect the bar portion on the dominant side, and for me it's the right side. Let me open up this loop, slide on the chain, close it, open up this jump ring, slide the toggle part or the bar part, and slide the link into the jump ring and close it. I think this necklace is very pretty, and I love the combination of the copper, the peach, and the purple. One thing I am going to do is glue that seed bead to the front of that jump ring. It's not really necessary, but it kind of bothers me a little bit that it keeps sliding up and down like that. I think once you put the necklace on, gravity will take care of it, but I'm going to apply some glue anyway. I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of glue using a precision tip on the inside of that seed bead and hold it until it dries in place. I'll probably end up using GS Hypo Cement because it dries pretty quickly. So anyway, now we're going to move on to the bracelet. Let me get the materials for that. Here are the materials for the bracelet. I will be using the other toggle clasp and some jump rings, but I'll pull those out later on. I'm just going to build some beaded components, so let me show you. Once again, I'm going to kick my wire about 1/2 inch down, maybe a little bit less, and I'm going to grab it with my round nose pliers, making sure that it's flush. That's how you get a nice round loop. And now I'm going to load one of these bead caps and a glass pearl and another bead cap. And this is the same type of beaded component that we used on the necklace. So once again, I'm going to grab the wire right where the bead cap is, line up the bottom loop, kink it, snip off the excess, and form a loop. Make sure it's straight and make sure that it's closed. Let me straighten out my loops. So that's one beaded component. Let me show you the next one. This bracelet's going to have 3 types of beaded components. I'm forming another simple loop. And this time I'm going to load 2 of these crystals. Just like that. Once again, I'm going to grab the wire right where the crystal is, line up the bottom loop, kink it, snip off the excess, form a loop, line up my loops, so now we have 2 beaded components. We have this one right here, and we have this one. The third one's going to be pretty simple. And now I'm going to thread on one of these crystals. And that's all I'm going to thread on. So these are the 3 that I'm going to be building for the bracelet. So to save time, I'm going to build a bunch of them off camera, and then I'll come back and we'll assemble everything. As you can see, I completed the beaded components and I connected them. I did the same thing that I did with the necklace. I simply opened up a loop of a component and then connected the next one. And I did that for all of them. I figured since I already showed you how to do that when I made the necklace, I didn't have to show you again. One thing I didn't do is to go over the beads with you. But as you can see, we use the same pearls that we used on the necklace. Those are the 8mm size pearls. And I use the same bead caps as well. And then these are the little rondelles in the color lavender paint. They measure 4 by 3.5mm. And these are the triangle beads in the peach color. And they measure 4 by 6mm. And the wire is 20 gauge wire, the same wire that I used for the necklace. So now we're going to go ahead and assemble the bracelet. I did want to talk about the loops though. You want the beaded component at the beginning and the one at the end to have loops that are facing the same direction. For example, if these are horizontal or parallel to my mat, these have to be horizontal or parallel as well. You can't have this beaded component to be parallel and this one to be vertical. It makes a difference in how it sits on your wrist. So let's check these. As you can see, this one's horizontal. These loops are vertical. These are horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal. So this strand is okay. Now this one is a little bit different. Let me straighten it out so we can take a look. Actually, I'll pick it up and show you. So let's just say this one's horizontal. The next one's vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical. And so we need to change this one right here because this one was horizontal in the beginning. So this one needs to be adjusted. And what we're going to do is have one loop be vertical and the other one horizontal. So I'm simply going to grab the other loop like this and turn them so they're perpendicular. And that should take care of the problem. In the long run, it's probably not a big deal, but that's something that I've been paying attention to lately, and it makes a little bit of a difference. Another thing I wanted to mention is that these strands measure 5.5 inches, but this one's slightly bigger, and I don't mind because the beads are bigger, and so they're going to take up more inner diameter space. Now, you really don't have to be this meticulous, you really don't, because in the end, it's going to be a beautiful bracelet no matter what. So anyway, by the time we add these jump rings and the toggle clasp, the bracelet will probably be a little bit bigger than 6.5 inches, which is fine because that's definitely going to fit me. So let me show you how we're going to connect it. We're going to open up this jump ring. Slide the loop of the component into the jump ring and slide the other one as well. And now we're going to close it up. And now I'm going to take a little one. Open it up. connect it to this jump ring. And I'm going to connect the ring portion, I think. And close it up. So that's what we have so far. It's a good idea to check your loops. So I'm going to connect this one this way, and now let me check these. And I'm going to connect it this way. So both of these loops are vertical, as you can see. Let me open up this jump ring. And now let me see if I can do this carefully. There's one. And there's the other one. Close up my jump ring. So now my strands are connected. And on this side, I'm going to add 2 of these tiny jump rings. And by the way, these large ones are 5.5 millimeters, and these are 4.5 millimeters. Let me go ahead and open up this little one. I'm going to connect it to this large one, just like that, and close it up. Let me open up this one now. Connect it to that little one. And now I'm going to connect the bar portion of the toggle. And the reason I'm adding 2 small jump rings is to make it easier for the bar portion to go into the ring portion of the toggle clasp. Let me just show you. It just gives you a little bit more room so you're not struggling putting that bar into the ring. So there's the bracelet, and I think it looks really pretty. I love the combination of the purple pearls and the lavender and peach crystals. Let me show you what it looks like. Isn't it pretty? I love it. It's so sparkly. By the way, guys, like I said earlier, the loops of your components are going to affect the length of the strands. So you need to take that into account. So even though I have 7 of these pearls, you may need 8 or 9 or less if your loops are bigger. And also keep in mind that I have very small wrists. So don't build the exact same components because you may need something different. So anyway, now we're going to make a quick pair of earrings. Let me get the materials for that. Here are the materials for the earrings. As you can see, I've already built one. And I'm using the same exact beads that I used on the necklace and the bracelet. I'm also using stainless steel ear wires, and the reason I'm using them is because most people can't use base metal on the earlobes. I'm one of them. Whenever I do, I break out in a rash, and it's very uncomfortable. I'm mentioning this because a viewer once left a comment about that. She said that I should use the same color metal as the necklace, and I had to explain to her why I use stainless steel. But anyway, let me show you how to assemble this. It's very simple. Just like before, I'm going to kink the wire and form a loop. And now I'm going to slide on one of these crystals, the little one, and now the peach one, and now a bead cap, and the pearl, and the other bead cap, just like that. I'm going to kink my wire again, right where the bead cap is, snip off the excess, and form a loop. And I'm making this one a little bit bigger than the other one. And of course you want to make sure you close it really well. And now let me open up this jump ring. This one measures 6 millimeters. I'm going to slide it through the hole of this bead. And now let me slide on this beaded component and close it up. Let me open up this loop now. Slide the earway hook on. Close it up. And here's a cute pair of earrings to match the necklace. So let me bring out the necklace and the bracelet and I'll arrange everything on my mat. So here's the finished necklace, bracelet, and pair of earrings. And I'm pretty happy with everything. I think it turned out really nice. I hope you like it as well. It was relatively easy to make, as you saw. Let me slide my board down so you can see the top. There's the top. And let me go back up. So anyway, guys, as always, I'd like to model these pieces. Let me go ahead and put them on and I'll see you in a few moments. I think this necklace is so beautiful. It's so feminine and so romantic. I really love it. I hope you like it as well. So anyway, congratulations again to the 3 winners. I'm so happy you won. You really deserve it. And thank you to everyone again for helping me reach the 20,000 subscriber milestone. I really appreciate it. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye.